Good evening, guys. Welcome back to another video. I'm just at local Asda. Just popped in for some bread. I thought while I drive home I'll do a quick video because I want to try and see if I can demonstrate Orwin, which for you guys who watch on a regular basis is my 2-litre SRi130-powered Mk2 Cavalier 1984 GL, originally 1.6. Now it's got the 2-litre engine in, but it's not quite running right at the moment. I'm going to do this short video and see if you guys can maybe help diagnose it. I think it might be, well, I don't know. Let's just start her up. So the first thing I've noticed is that the engine seems to be ticking over higher than normal. It's ticking over around about 1000 RPM, just very slightly below 1000 RPM. And it's also hunting a little bit. It's a little bit up and a little bit down, only a little bit. But I don't know if somewhere along the lines there's too much air being sucked in. Maybe my idle control valve is not keeping the idle quite right, and that's letting a little bit too much air through, because it sometimes is struggling a bit under load and it's a little bit jerky, almost as if there's an air leak. The other thing I'd noticed was that my battery voltage had dropped. It weren't as high as it normally is, but on this I've got a sorry, just get over these speed bumps. I've got a little wind on, wind off battery connector on the earth lead, so that I can quickly disconnect the power to the engine just by disconnecting this little twist connector. And what I did earlier on when I got home from work, I just loosened that off and I tightened it back up again, and straight away my battery voltage were back up to normal. So that tells me that obviously my earth was a little bit dodgy, and that's why my battery voltage was lower than it should be with the engine running. So that's one problem sorted. Now I have noticed actually since doing that it is running a bit smoother. So I think that maybe it was just that dodgy earth that was making it, you know, not run quite so right. Because obviously if you've got a dodgy earth, it's going to affect your electronics, it's going to affect your ignition, it's going to affect everything, isn't it, if you've got a dodgy earth. And it definitely feels smoother. But the other thing I've noticed as well is that it seems to run smoother when the air temperature is a bit colder. So again, that starts to make me think, is it a mixture problem? And maybe it's my engine temperature sensor. Maybe my engine temperature sensor, when the engine's warm, is making the mixture too rich, and it's like the equivalent of driving a car with a carburettor with the choke on, you know, with the choke pulled out. So it's making it a bit too rich, and therefore it's affecting the mixture. And see, at the moment, doing this little test drive, it's running really, really smooth and perfect, which is just typical, just typical when I'm trying to demonstrate it not running quite smooth enough. Yeah, I don't know, because one of my mates suggested having a look for air leaks on the inlet pipe. Sorry, not the the inlet pipe from the airflow meter to the throttle body. Well, I checked that and it's absolutely fine. I can't see any splits in it or anything. It looks nearly new. It's in as new condition anyway. I don't know why I've come this way where all these bloody speed bumps this direction. What I might need to do is do another video on my way home from work tomorrow. When hopefully the weather will be a bit warmer, and I'll see if it does it then. I went over that speed bump slower than I needed to. Yeah, it's typical, it's running spot on now, which is strange because the only thing I've done is undone that battery earth lead connector and tightened it back up again, loosened it off and wound it back on. It has caused me problems before that, because earlier in the year I had a problem with the car struggling to start. It was turning over really slowly and really struggling to fire, and it got to the point where the starter motor was just clicking, and all that was that earth clamp with the twist connector. And that's all it was. All it was that earth clamp that was stopping it from starting right. So I'm just wondering, maybe it was just that's been causing me problems recently with it not running quite right. Because obviously if you've got a dodgy earth, it's going to affect your ECU, it's going to affect your ignition coil, it's going to affect everything, isn't it? Yeah, we're definitely a mistake coming this way with all these chuffing speed bumps. It will be worth it when I get up here though. You'll see what I mean in a minute when I get into 60 zone. See there, it just hesitated a little bit. Right, I'm going to shut up now, let you listen to the exhaust. Beautiful view over here in a minute. Oh, look at that view. It is awesome, this road. You won't believe with how this car handles that it's 37-year-old. The way that it drives, the way that it accelerates, the way that it handles, the way that it grips around these bends. You know, a 37-year-old family hatchback and it drives like this. Alright, it is slightly modified, but just slow down for this bit, it's a bit narrow. Well, I did this video to highlight it running rough, and it's actually running spot on. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull in here because my parking space is free. Look at this view from up here, guys. What an awesome view. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the video rolling and I'm just going to pull in. Listen to the exhaust. Yeah, that's running spot on, isn't it? I wonder if it were just that dodgy exhaust clamp then. In fact, while I'm here, I'll show you the engine. But while I'm here, I just want to show you this view. I live somewhere about there. Where the houses are there, that's about where I live. Oh, gone out of focus now. Come on camera, back in focus, stupid thing. Round to Orwin. Ah, this phone is rubbish. Honestly, iPhones are crap. They really are pants. Well, it won't go back in focus now. Oh, there we go, we're back in focus. You probably can't see it, but over there on the horizon about, where are we? Where's the camera? There is, if I can zoom into it, what they call it, Emily Moore TV mast that's higher than the Eiffel Tower. You can't really see it very well, but it's over there anyway. Right, I've just popped the bonnet anyway, because I've been promising for ages to do a video about the engine, and I ain't done one yet, so just excuse me while I put the bonnet up. So here we go, one very oily, because it definitely needs a new rocker gasket. I started having a bit of an oily smell, and then I popped the bonnet earlier and I noticed that the rocker cover gasket is definitely leaking. But there you go, the old 2 litre SRi130 engine, the 2 litre SEH engine. That's the little clamp which I was talking about that was causing the problem with the earth. So you turn it off and it disables the car, turn it back and it turns the power back on. And I've had to do it a couple of times because it was stopping the electrics working right. I think it's just like a dodgy connector. You sometimes have to undo it and wind it back on. But yeah, there you go. I've never actually shown you the engine bay. So there you go, there's the engine bay. Yeah, so rocker gasket is definitely on order because I've got a bit of an oil leak all across the top of the engine, which will explain why I've been getting a bit of a smell of hot oil recently. So yeah, there you go. So not a lot more I can show you under there, really. Put the bonnet down and just show you the view again. Beautiful sunset, absolutely stunning. Let's get some views of Orwin. There we go. Some of you have seen my previous videos will have seen me record videos up here before. It's one of my favourite little spots, especially it being so close to where I live. Beautiful. I've had some really good photos up here before in the past. I'm currently at about 900 foot above sea level roughly. On a really clear day you can see power stations right out in the distance. One of them's actually Drax power station up near York, and then you've got the ones out near the coast. So you can see absolutely for miles from up here. You can see right over past Doncaster, Barnsley's that way, Doncaster, Rotherham, Sheffield. That's where I am in South Yorkshire, for anybody who doesn't know. But anyway, back to Orwin. Here we go. So if my phone battery will last long enough, I shall continue the journey. Oh. So yeah, turn the ignition on. I don't think you can really see it on camera, can you? No, it's not. It's getting a bit dark now.